Hello and welcome everyone. This is English in the Pocket podcast number 5. I am Tiagi Das, your host in this learning adventure. Today's show brings me a pleasant surprise to interview a special guest who happens to be not only an old friend of mine, but an amazing musician, an intuitive sound therapist, and a happy soul. His name is Francesco Coralini, also known as Chai. He was born in Italy, but has been living in London for over 20 years. Back in 2008, when I used to live in London, we had a music project together playing Brazilian jazz music all over the UK. The interview happened in a very relaxed way. Francesco was just at home before getting ready to go to the hospital, where he has been working as a sound therapist. I hope you'll enjoy this talk as much as I have, and also I do hope to bring some awareness of how important it is to know what we are consuming through our ears in our daily lives, which most of the time we have no control whatsoever. Who knows, but that old headache could have a lot more to do with the constant noises or frequencies of your daily job than you imagine. In any case, the opposite is also quite true, meaning that those birds chirping and the roaring sound of waterfalls could save you quite a few bucks in the end of the line. Stay tuned and enjoy the podcast.
I'm happy, Tiagi. Just like let's keep it fresh and in the moment. Nice. BBC Two.
BBC Two channel.
So,
Channel 7, right. So, Franceschini, okay. But let me introduce you to officially to English in the Pocket broadcast program.
Yeah.
So you are our second guest. English in the Pocket,
Yeah.
pretty much about connectedness, because there
Conversation.
there are
Yeah.
tons of people who already have a good enough English to be able to express themselves, but they don't, because they go through those emotional nervousness, and they get stage fright, kind of freezing, and the words don't come to their mind. And this project is all about encouraging people to connect, because in the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you have a great tool of connecting, like you have an Apple Macintosh, but you don't know how to operate your apps. And your apps in the sense of the human kingdom would be how you control, or how you are riding your nerves, how you are keeping them as your tools to express yourself. So it's very basic. It's very just helping people just to speak up, and hopefully to broaden this community, through conversation and interactivity. And it happens to be in English because that's what I can offer, some level of technical support and mentorship, really. So tell me, what are you doing in the hospital exactly?
Fantastic. Well, I am a sound therapist, live in London. I facilitate sessions called sound bath. Generally, they call it sound bath, and can be in also one-to-one or in group sessions. I use different instruments such as gongs, as you see behind me. Also use a bowl, like a quartz crystal bowls. We use Tibetan Himalayan bowls as well. Like this, I show you.
Yes.
One of the instruments we use, this is an Himalayan bowl. It's metal and fused with different other elements, 7 different type of minerals fused together. They make this in India and the Himalayan regions. Also, we use tuning forks. This is tuning forks. It's like the same.
Wow.
The idea comes from tuning forks that we use. Is used for tuning instruments like guitar. So this comes from the same idea, but the frequency of the tuning of these tuning forks, it's really in details, precisely to a certain frequency.
Okay.
Now, on my right here, we have 136.10 frequency, which is also the same Om sound, the universal sound, Om.
Very nice.
And
Which number is it? 130?
136, which is actually the sound of the planet Earth, the vibration of planet Earth. That's what they say. So I don't know if you, no, it's very difficult to hear anyway. So on my left, we have
I could hear some vibration. If you hit it again and put it next to it.
Can you hear something?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. I think it can be maybe a C, some kind type of C note. And then we have 64, which is, it's a lower vibration, a slow vibration. It's just very slow. So it's so there are different sizes, different frequencies. So it's used. You can, as you say, this tuning fork have this weight. They are called a weighted tuning fork. We have this part here, which is make the vibration stronger. So when you put it on the body, you can put this on the body. You type it and then you put it on the body. In different part of the body, you can do the back. It's excellent for back problems. So you can really operate this tuning fork all around the back, around the spine, and it's incredible the result that you can have, with particularly with this tuning fork. So there are many types of tuning forks, many frequency, many tuning. When we do the sound bath, group sound bath, we use all of these instruments together.
Okay, I'd just like to understand a bit more, because you're talking about frequencies, and then for those who are listening,
yes,
maybe for the first time, even the concept of frequencies and sounds. Okay, we understand sound, we understand noises, and then frequencies is measured in hertz, H, Z. Okay, we understand these are, we're talking about waves, sound waves. Now, I just wanted, from your perspective, that you are professional, you are working on this field already, I just like to understand a little bit more and make the audience understand as well. Okay, how can this frequency, which is measured very precisely, how do these frequencies affect us physically? Because I can understand from being an artist and being a musician myself, when I play a minor chord or whatever, that will affect people emotionally. Therefore, that will change their physical structure as well. Because if you play a sad song, you will feel sad. Your hormones will, whatever, will play around that. But in that case, which we're not talking about songs with meanings and stuff, we're just talking about pure frequencies. How is that possible then?
Yes. Well, there is a great study at the moment in modern science at the moment, how really energy and sound can influence the cellular system in the body. Okay, so they call it this type of frequency the chosen frequencies, because they say that they call it healthy frequencies. It's like in nature there are certain type of frequency that we get, for instance, when we go out in nature, from trees, from plants, etc., etc. So their own this type of frequency, they're very healthy for the body. Apparently, as we know, when we go like the sea or we go to in nature, this type of chosen specific frequency, they are really like taken from like in nature, from trees, from plants, from water. This sound, reproducing this sound, is actually near to the bodies. It can activate a form of rebalancing, of resetting the right energy and the right frequency through, as a resonance in a way, on a cellular level. For me, I coming also from music as well, from being a musician, so I apply both what you were saying, the emotional aspect as well, that you can actually, in a way, there is also that, there's certain note, because at the end of the day, they are frequency, but they also note, they are normal notes, they're just maybe a little bit sharp or flat, so you also apply that effect, emotionally speaking. So it's, for me, it's a little bit both. It's the discovery, exploring how a certain type of frequency has a different effect in people emotionally, physically. And of course, for me, it's like a new exploration. So I'm also learning why I'm doing it, and then having feedback from people. I mean, so far, since I shift from music to sound therapy, it's about maybe 5 years that I graduated diploma with the Academy of Sound Healing here in London. I'm experimenting a lot myself, so there's lots to explore more, I would say.
So let me see if I grasp it. I like when you said like people or the researchers or whomever started to decodify this or natural frequencies. Really, they went there to the ocean, exactly, their recorders or their frequency receivers or whatever machine they must have, and they managed to record the sound of the ocean, and then they might have put in a certain machine that measures what is that frequency in terms of notes, because we're talking now just pure physically, and they managed to, I'm just giving an example, they managed to get this sound of the sea, for example, and they saw, oh, that's that precise frequency. So they managed to make a tuning fork which carries that same frequency, which when it's translated to the sound, it would be not the same voice of the ocean, but frequency, speaking the same numbers of that wavelength. Could we say that it is similar to going out in the field and harvesting the healing principle of the mint flower or the mint leaf, and then putting into a homeopathic bottle, because you're just extracting the essence of that plant? In the end of the day, you're not actually putting the chemical finger, it's just the vibration of that element. Is that more or less, so we can kind of put our heads around?
No, it's a very good example, and it's true. It's an extractor. It's true. I would say it's a juice, but it's a sound extractor in a way. Often I say to people when I explain from my experience, it's when I do sound bath or I do sessions, that it's like the extract of the music, basically, the juice, the essence of music, in terms of what it's healing, what is beneficial about when we go to hear a concert. So they somehow they blended. It's a blending kind of way of really extract the essence of the flower, the essence of the music, through what is really good, basically beneficial, what is very healing in a way, which we can say. So yes, of course, you can say it's very much makes sense, the example you make. So,
it's like putting the ocean into a bottle of frequency.
Yes, I mean, of course, we are talking about something that is missing. In our, I live in London, so there's a lots of stress, a lots of running around. The people is really, we are in a moment of, so many things is happening nowadays in the world, and in cities you can really feel the tension, the stress, and so I found that it's very helpful with this type of work with sound. It's very helpful for particularly for this type of people that work, in cities, very busy computers, in front of the computer all day. So it's the result we're having at the moment is great. I don't know how long it's going to be, but at the moment, I can say has a great impact to this typology of people that they're working a lot, that very, they needed something not so difficult, not too complicated, not necessarily spiritual to approach. They just want to have a moment of relaxation and speedy way as well, because they're busy people, so they're quite quick. You can have a session for 1 hour. It's and it's very effective. Immediately people reports, wow, it's almost a reboot. Reboots in your computer, restarting, resetting, something like that.
I was
So
going to
it's
ask you about this. What are the common responses to a treatment? Like if you do not a group session, I would be more precisely speaking about like a one-to-one session when you see a client. And what kind of experience or responses
yeah.
have you witnessed these people having? Like, is that very a cathartic kind of can
Yeah.
be cathartic, or is more
Mhm.
purely relaxation and what have you seen? Stay tuned for part 2 of this podcast coming soon. Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, me and Francesco, we used to have a project together. We used to play music together in this group called Tu Cria Tu, which literally means you create yourself. And we were doing a mix of original music, Brazilian Latin world music, like mostly my compositions, and also some Brazilian tunes. But actually, this song we composed it together, and we composed it in a way as an offering, let's say, to one of our teachers. His name is Moji, and Mooji, in case you just want to check him out. And these words from the verses, they are not, I didn't create them. Pretty much comes from Mooji's saying, you know. So it's like Mooji's song, and then we put in a nice reggae groove. So hope you enjoy. When we look with the eye, we dream. When we look for the eye, we awaken for the truth. Yeah. All is well. All is well, even when we don't see it. If you wanna make God laugh, tell him about your plans. Your life is unfolding naturally. Leave it be. It doesn't need any help. You just stay as neutral. Awareness, 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 awareness. Awareness, 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 awareness. Oh, mujiji, 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 oh. Oh, mujiji, 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 muji, oh. Oh, mujiji, 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 muji, oh. Oh, mujiji, 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 mujiji. Because when I wake up in the morning, I see what you see. I stand in front of the mirror to feel what's up with me. And then I see your eyes staring at me. I have no doubts about you. What in me I am indeed. You look so beautiful in the side of my open eyes, and I look so beautiful in the side of your open eyes. You look so beautiful in the side of my open eyes, and I look so beautiful in the side of your open eyes. I am the other part that was missing to thee. You are the other side that before I could not see. Together in one night we can see beyond the sea. This whole picture's about how to love free. How to love free, yeah, yeah, yeah. How to love free. how to love free, yeah, yeah, yeah. Mudidi, 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 mudidi,